Hi, I'm Matti Malim, aka Hidden Stick Actor, and I continue my list of the 100 worst movies I've seen. Today featuring from number 90 to 81. I have to first say that I've gotten a bit of a cold, so forgive me if my voice is a bit growly and I may occasionally cough a lot. Yeah. Okay, let's just go to it. To number 90 on the list, 7 Brides for 7 Brothers. I think the only really good 1950s musical I've seen is Singing in the Rain, which is by the way from the same director, Stanley Donen. And certain things I like about good musicals is that the numbers, the musical numbers don't just come right out of nowhere and they move the plot forward. And Singing in the Rain also has a good characters with good plot and good chemistry. And yeah, 7 Brides for 7 Brothers is one of those musicals where there are occasional songs and with really impressive choreography, and that's pretty much it. It's a plot about some brawly country dude who has 6 other siblings and they need to get laid or something, so they go to the local village and search for maidens and stuff, or something. They actually rob them, or yeah, it has been a while since I've seen that. Yeah, it's rather empty. I mean, one Best Picture Oscar winner, An American in Paris, is also an kind of a superfluous, the plot is kind of superfluous in it. It's about the love story between these two people, but at least the musical numbers were good in lyrics wise. I don't remember a single song from this. And also the 7 Brides for 7 Brothers is it has all the 50s values I dislike, like the rampant unintentional sexism. Well, to be fair, it is the kind of 50s styles of kind of funny, innocent sexism, but it's still treating women as something to possess rather than their own personalities. But yeah, it just summarizes what was wrong at the musicals at the time. Okay, number 89 is The Thing from Another World. If 7 Brides for 7 Brothers summarized what was wrong with 50s musical, The Thing from Another World summarized what was wrong with the 50s horror. The most notable, of course, is the 1982 remake directed by John Carpenter, where the thing transforms and can possess all the researchers in an Antarctic base. Well, in this first adaptation of the short story where the thing and this 50s thing is based on, the monster wasn't like that. Instead, it had something to do with flowers or something. It got its energy from flowers and reproduced with that. I don't remember. But anyway, this movie hasn't aged very well. I mean, I guess that if I had born in the 50s and seen it then I would have found it scary, but the effects haven't. The monster effects are kind of lame, and I guess the one reason is that it's shot from really far and it doesn't show much action from the close-up shots, so it takes kind of an effect from that. And also the characters, I have no idea who was who. They look the same, and they have zero personality with each other. I couldn't figure out who was dying and when. And there was a lot of casualties in this movie, which kind of took its effect from it. I think both the 1980 remake and the 2011 prequel to the 1982 remake managed to create better atmosphere and actually had relatable characters, even though in the prequel they occasionally did something really stupid stuff. But yeah, they had atmosphere. And for the record, I don't think the 2011 prequel wasn't even that bad. I thought the CGI effects were well made in that movie. Number yeah, Cutthroat Island. Yeah, kind of a throat killer there. Yeah, Cutthroat Island is the infamous pirate movie that I think it still is the biggest box office bomb that was ever made. Directed by Finnish director Renny Harlin, who is was one of the first Finnish filmmaker to make it to Hollywood. And I didn't remember much of the plot, so I had to check from Wikipedia what this was all about. Yeah, it has this pirate lady played by Gina Davis, Renny Harlin's then wife, and she needs to find a treasure that her father hid, but then her uncle, played by Frank Langella, is searching for it too. And there's this handsome swambuckler, played by Matthew Modine, who can encrypt the Latin text written on the map so she could find the treasure. And it had some well-made action scenes, but the pair's chemistry is kind of non-existent. Yeah, I guess this goes rather fast because I don't remember much details about it, but when I read the Wikipedia article it said that the musical score was good, so I maybe have to give a listen to that. Yeah, I guess I have to move forward so my voice doesn't die. Number 87, Ursula. Ursula is this Finnish movie about this male slacker, and there's this female slacker, and with a couple of friends they are planning to... I think they were going to rob a bank or transfer illegal money to somewhere. There's been only like 2 months since I've seen this movie, and I don't remember much details about it. Why this movie interested me is that its director Jaakko Pyhälä made 3 years prior a movie called John, which yeah, I don't remember that plot much about either, but I remember it was well acted and had good characters. And while its plot was slow moving, it still had this own tempo. In Ursula, though, it feels like it just has those 2 characters who are arguing about petty stuff, and Ursula is all rebellious teen or something, and then just it cuts to the end climax where all the bad stuff happen. And stuff. Yeah, and this this was kind of Ursula's kind of a career killer for its director, and I think for its female lead as well, as while the female lead Heidi Kilpeläinen has some kind of music career, she has never acted in any other film since. I should also mention that the actors were pretty decent for the material they were given. 86 King Kong, the 1976 version. Yeah, King Kong went camp and it was... yeah, I understand if you want to make your movie to your remake, put it to modern times, but this direction was so bizarre for it to go. And once again, this is one of those things that I've seen so many years ago that I don't have much details. I didn't even remember who acted in this, and when I look at it, there was a Jeff Bridges as the male lead and a Jessica Lange as the female lead. And if I don't even remember Jeff Bridges, then it's quite astonishing. I remember the guy in a gorilla suit who was the King Kong, and he was and of course the ending climax where the King Kong climbs the World Trade Center because it reminded of a rock it had in there. Kind of a interesting thing. Yeah, to summarize, it's campy, and the wrong kind of camp, the kind of camp that doesn't fit for the film. And speaking of camp, the 85 on the list, Moonraker. Yeah, surprise! Die Another Day wasn't the worst Bond film ever made, for me at least. Yeah, I said in the previous video that I understand that James Bond has never tried to be this super realistic series, but Bond in space, WTF? It's just yeah, I don't generally like Roger Moore Bonds because of their ill-fitting comedy, which is kind of slapsticky and juvenile. The only Roger Moore Bonds worth seeing, I think, are Spy Who Loved Me and For Your Eyes Only. They had the best characters, and Spy Who Loved Me, the one who preceded Moonraker, blended well. It's kind of fairy tale like spy action, this overblown spy action, and it blended it very well into this fun action packaged thing, and it had a good female lead, even though Barbara Bach wasn't probably the most versatile actress to portray her, but and it also had one of the best Bond henchmen, Jaws, played by Richard Kiel, this really tall iron teeth Hulk who is really scary, and which Moonraker of course ruined, because because Moonraker exaggerated Jaws' comedic nature, which was presented as Spy Who Loved Me, but it wasn't the most dominant element, and perhaps the people who wrote Moonraker, I don't know were they the same or not, but remembered Jaws mostly as a comedic character for his silence and expressive reactions. And they just pussified Jaws for this. And the main villain, played by, what was his face, Michael Lonsdale. He was just repetition of the previous movie's villain, and if they come to think of it, Moonraker is kind of like Spy Who Loved Me in Space. It was put into space only because Star Wars and everyone wanted to be Star Wars. And also the female character played by Lois Charles had very little personality. And the movie didn't even use the fact that she's an agent to its advantage. In the previous movie, the Barbara Bach character, who was a Soviet agent, she fought alongside Bond and had her own quirks and wits, and was also a little small lady. In this one, what was his? Mary Holly Goodhead, I think her name was, or Mary Good Looking or something, intentionally sexist like that. She did nothing useful. So yeah, I don't like Moonraker because it's just push the silliness too far. Even in Die Another Day, the characters, why they weren't good, they were at least memorable. And then to the next one, Rambo 3. The second Rambo film, First Blood Part 2, it was a stupid movie, but at least the action was well made, and it was the kind of movie that you just put your brain to zero and let it go. But Rambo 3, it didn't have the second one's fast pacing, so it became boring. In case you have lived in the barrel, Rambo series is about this Vietnam veteran played by Sylvester Stallone, and he has all this kind of, he's the ultimate warrior who just snaps out when there's enemies and fires them all, and victory, 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 yeah. Yeah, and the third movie, it's he goes to the war of Afghanistan to save his former mentor from the Soviets, and of course, to the typical Rambo fashion, the villains are quite one-dimensional, and so are his allies, the Afghan crew. Not as one-dimensional as the Soviets, but yeah, it just does action in various places, and then there's just these non-subtle patriotic talk, and the Soviets go to back to the Russia or something. I don't know. Yeah, it was a boring experience, and I never felt sorry for anyone. I think the action was just too clean for me to care about anyone's fate, which was greatly made in the so far the final Rambo film that was made in 2008, and there the action was visceral and all of the face intense, and yeah, Rambo 3 didn't manage to achieve it. Number 83, The Little Mermaid 2, Return to the Sea. Yeah, quite a bit big jump from this war action to cartoon. Disney's sequel to their Disney Renaissance starting blockbuster success. Yeah, I grew up with Little Mermaid. It still holds up, and it's a good movie. And the its sequel, well, it tries to be too much like its predecessor. So you could argue that it's pretty much exactly the same movie. There's the Ariel is this mermaid who, in the end of the previous movie, was turned into human, so she could be with her the love of her life, Prince Erik of Denmark, I guess. And so they are married and all honky-dory and get a kid who is Melody, who is the main character of this movie. And then there's the previous baddie's sister comes to avenge her, and the main villain is pretty much the same character as the previous movie's villain. Yeah, although her henchmen are that less incompetent. Yeah, it pretty much has the same kind of plot. In the first movie, Ariel was the rebellious teenage daughter to her father Triton, and in this movie, Melody's a rebellious teenage daughter to her mother Ariel. See, now you see how it feels. Yeah, she goes to search for her secret because Ariel once Morgana tried to kidnap her daughter years and years ago, Morgana being the villain. She became just an overprotective bitch and closed all the barriers and don't go to the sea! I don't tell you why, but don't go to the sea! Yeah, kind of like that. And of course, being the curious little girl as she naturally is, she goes there and pretty much acts the first movie from note to note. Yeah, and apparently in the original English, Melody was played by the acclaimed voice actress Tara Strong, and I am curious to see how she handled the role. I have only seen the Finnish dubbed version, and it was so and so. And apparently lots of the original cast returned to this, because I guess they have nothing better to do. Including Pat Carroll, who in the first movie played the charismatic sea witch Ursula, and in this movie plays her sister, who is a less charismatic because she has always she was always better a mom loved her more syndrome. So, oh yeah. And this won't be the last Disney sequel in this countdown. And I should note that I haven't seen all those Disney sequels that they made in the mid-2000s, and had I seen them all, there probably would be more of them here. And I think the only really good one of them was the Return to Neverland, which I think in some areas managed to do a better job than the first movie, Peter Pan. Yeah, I liked it. Okay. And we continue with in the kids movie line with Casper Meets Wendy. And well, once again, this was one of those movies that I've seen like over 15 years ago. So my details about it was hazy, so I looked at Wikipedia what was this all about. So there's this Casper, the friendly ghost who doesn't want to scare anyone, and he meets this witch girl, the title Wendy, played by really young Hilary Duff, and she was like 10 years old or something. And they are pretty much each other's opposite sex mirror images, as Casper has his 3 uncles who are such meanies to him, and she has her 3 aunts who are such meanies to her, and because they both are such nice people, they get along very well, but there is this evil warlock played by George Hamilton, who heard from the Oracle, who is played by Polish Sorby, Charlie, and that Wendy is the most powerful witch in the world, or will become the most powerful witch in the world, so Warlock wants to basically kill her. Well, not physically stab kill her, but send her to the never-ending abuse or something. So yeah, Casper tries to hide Wendy, and all kinds of exciting events happen. Yeah, I think a child when I saw this, and understandably I'm not the target audience to this movie, so it may twist my perspective a little, but the reason why the aunts and the uncles are having schisma together, because apparently ghosts and witches are natural enemies, which doesn't make zero sense. In fact, Casper's whole premise of ghosts wanting to scare everyone and even go to school about how to scare everyone just doesn't make any sense, because they are dead people, aren't they? Why they're... have they just forgotten that they were once humans and think that ghosts are their own species, separate from the humans? I guess if you die and return as a ghost, you become a kind of a douchebag, but it just never made any sense. Yeah, Casper meets Wendy. Yeah, I saw Casper meets Wendy because I had seen the 2 previous Casper movies and wanted to complete a trilogy or something. And I haven't seen any Casper related products since then, so I haven't heard good words about the CGI films. Although I did watch the 90s cartoon, and that was rather well, or would have if it wasn't for the infamously bad dub by Abakio Team Racing, or what's the name of the company was. Infamous for its bad dubbings, most infamous being the Digimon dub. Hey, ole sorry! And other stuff of legend. I'm all alone. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So let's go to the last movie today, number 81, Twilight. Yeah. This is the only movie from the Twilight series I've seen, because well, you can go on with your life without seeing any Twilight related thing, but I just wanted to understand the phenomenon, so I watched the first movie to kind of get what was going on in this, which in the back in the day, like 3-4 years ago, was everybody just hated this story about a teenage girl who finds a teenage boy who is actually a vampire, and it causes all kind of a drama, and the main characters are that the main character Bella Swan doesn't have any free feel of her own, and everybody just hated it and said it to be the worst thing ever. Well, as you can see, for me Twilight only managed to get into 81 spot, and so it wasn't for me the worst thing ever. And it wasn't that bad. I've heard the sequels are even more terrifyingly stupid. Like my little sister, who kind of ironically likes the books, has said that the third one, which was decent as a book, was utter garbage as a movie. Yeah, the love story is Bella is really passive to this, played by Kristen Stewart. She's really passive, and this Robert Pattinson, played Edward, played vampire, is just a kind of a stalker, and apparently Mr. Pattinson played him that way, and apparently it was something that all the teenage girls of the world wanted. And yeah, in the first movie there's this some evil vampire who doesn't approve Bella and tries to kill her. The movie has anemic music, and its visuality, it has this kind of a weird blue tint which makes everything seem cold, and all the people seem paler than they are, and it has a lot of unintentionally hilarious moments, like this is the skin of a killer, where Edward shows what happens to vampires in the sun, so they just sparkle like this, all bling 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 bling. And you can twist vampire lore however you want, because everyone has twisted it, even from the beginning of the birth of the vampire myth. Everyone has twisted the vampire lore to suit their needs, but it kind of being a vampire kind of loses its impact if you don't have any notable weaknesses that greatly make your life as a vampire much harder. And removing the burning in the sun thing, it just doesn't. It just makes them takes all the drama out of it. And if the worst thing that can happen to you is that you sparkle, then your life is pretty solid. The only thing you really need to do is to drink blood, and in the woods of in the state of Washington there are plenty of wild animals roaming around. Oh yeah, one thing about it, the sun is barely present in this, which makes it even more dreary looking. But this movie has the action is decent. I remember it to be decent. I remember only the final battle scene, but I remember it was decent. But there's one important saving grace this movie has, and it's Billy Burke as Bella's father. Charlie Swan is a great character because of his deadpan attitude to everything, every weird thing that is happening around him, and he's taking it rather nonchalantly and has a good sense of humor. And, he and Bella have the best scene in the movie when they are having in this coffee shop and are just talking to each other, because it actually managed to bring some warmth out of Bella and make her seem more human. Even if it just was just for the one scene, it managed to make me actually care about her for a little moment. And that's why if anyone in the Hollywood is watching this, Billy Burke needs better movies to play in. Yeah, he needs more good roles in better movies. The only thing I've seen him was Jane Austen's Mafia, where he played this cocaine addict brother. It was this kind of a parody of all the mafia movies, and that was funny. Yeah, so yeah, my voice is kind of down to the bit, so I guess I'll stop here. Thanks for all for watching, and be sure to come for the next video. Bye.